Hey there, coin hunters and treasure seekers. Imagine this: you're casually digging through a jar of old pennies, the kind everyone has tucked away in some dusty drawer. You pull out what looks like just another ordinary penny, and bam! It turns out to be worth a staggering $1.8 million. Sounds like a scene from a movie, right? But believe it or not, that could actually happen with a 1989 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Yes, you heard me right, a penny that's worth more than most cars or even a small house these days. I'm James, your friendly neighborhood coin enthusiast, and today I'm going to take you on a deep dive into the world of this incredibly rare penny. By the end of this video, you'll not only know why it's so valuable, but also how to spot one, what makes it so special, and maybe even how you might stumble upon one yourself, because you never know when luck will strike. So buckle up, because this is one penny story you don't want to miss. What exactly is the 1989 no-mint mark Lincoln penny? Most pennies you see from 1989 have a little letter stamped on them. That letter tells you where the coin was minted. A D means Denver, a P means Philadelphia, and sometimes there's an S for San Francisco. But the no-mint mark penny? It's like the unicorn of the penny world. It's a coin that doesn't have any letter at all. No mint mark. And that tiny detail is what makes it rare, mysterious, and incredibly valuable. You might be wondering, how rare can a penny from 1989 really be? After all, millions of pennies were made that year, right? Well, yes and no. While millions were made overall, the no-mint mark variety is believed to be a rare error coin. It's thought that these pennies slipped through the minting process accidentally, making them incredibly scarce. Now here's where things get interesting. Because this penny is so rare, collectors are willing to pay jaw-dropping amounts for it. The current market value is around $1.8 million. Yep, you heard that right, almost $2 million for a single penny. Let's talk about what makes this penny so valuable beyond just rarity. First, it's got the iconic Abraham Lincoln portrait on the front, a design that's been around since 1909. The penny itself is a symbol of American history and culture, and collectors love coins that have both a story and a visual appeal. Second, the no-mint mark adds an element of mystery and rarity. Errors in coin production tend to fetch high prices because they're one-of-a-kind moments where things went a bit off script. Imagine finding a misprinted dollar bill or a magazine with the wrong cover. Collectors go crazy for these quirks. The 1989 penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial series, which means the back of the coin shows the Lincoln Memorial. That's right, this penny doesn't just carry history, it literally carries a monument. Now, let me share a little personal story here. A couple of years ago, I was at a garage sale, those places where people sell random stuff and you can find unexpected treasures. I was casually flipping through a small box of old coins when I spotted a penny that looked a bit different. No mint mark. I thought to myself, nah, probably just a normal penny. But curiosity got the best of me, so I decided to look it up. And guess what? It was a 1989 no mint mark penny. It turned out not to be the $1 million variety, but just the thought that I could have stumbled on something that rare was enough to light a fire under me. Always check your coins carefully. You never know when you might find a hidden gem sitting right under your nose. If you're thinking about hunting for one of these, here's what you need to do. First, get yourself a good magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. Look carefully at the area where the mint mark usually sits, near the date on the penny. If there's nothing there, congratulations, you may have found one of these rare no mint mark pennies. Condition matters a lot. A penny with scratches, dents, or heavy wear won't fetch anywhere near the same price. The coins that have sold for millions were in near-perfect condition. So if you find one, it might be worth having it professionally graded and authenticated. Speaking of grading, this is a whole other world in coin collecting. Coins get rated from poor to mint state, and the better the grade, the higher the value. That $1.8 million price tag is for a near-perfect example. If your penny looks a little rough, don't be discouraged, it still could have value, just maybe not in the millionaire range. Also, be careful about fakes. Yes, there are counterfeiters out there who try to make copies of rare coins to scam collectors. So if you think you have a 1989 no mint mark penny, it's smart to get an expert's opinion. Okay, now let's talk market trends. You might wonder, why has the price gone so high? Well, coin collecting has been booming over the last decade. People are looking for tangible investments, and rare coins fit the bill perfectly. Unlike stocks or crypto, coins are physical objects you can hold, which adds to their appeal. Plus, as these rare coins get harder to find, their value naturally climbs. If you want to get started in coin collecting or want to learn how to spot valuable pennies and other coins, my channel is packed with tips, tricks, and strategies that can help you on your journey. We talk about what to look for, how to avoid scams, and the best ways to grow your collection. And hey, even if you don't find a $1 million penny, collecting coins is a fun hobby that connects you to history, culture, and a worldwide community of passionate collectors. Plus, there's always the thrill of the hunt. The fascinating story of the 1989 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny and why it's worth a whopping $1.8 million today. From its rarity and unique minting era to the booming market and collector passion, this little coin packs a huge punch in value and history. If you ever find yourself sorting through a jar of pennies, take a moment to look closely. You might just be holding a treasure that could change your life. Before you go, I've got one quick favor to ask. If you love uncovering secrets about coins worth real money, want more tips on coin collecting strategies, or just enjoy a good treasure hunt story, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss out. Trust me, your future self will thank you, and if you've ever had a crazy coin story or found a rare penny yourself, drop a comment below. I love hearing about your experiences. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Until next time, keep those eyes sharp, your pockets jingling, and happy hunting. Hey there, coin lovers and treasure hunters. If you've ever found yourself digging through your couch cushions or your grandma's old jar of loose change hoping to strike it rich, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into the world of pennies, not just any pennies, but the 2016 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny that, believe it or not, can be worth a staggering $1.9 million. Yeah, you heard that right, almost $2 million for a little copper coin you probably thought was just good for vending machines and wishing wells. Now, before you start shaking your piggy bank like a slot machine, hold on. This isn't your everyday penny story. There's history, mystery, and a little bit of luck involved. So stick around because by the end of this video, you might just look at pennies the way a pirate looks at treasure. Alright, let's get into the nitty-gritty. First off, what makes this 2016 D penny so special? It's all about rarity and the mint mark, that little D that stands for the Denver Mint. Most 2016 pennies were common, but the D mint mark on certain pennies from this year is linked to a super rare error or limited release that collectors drool over. To understand why this coin can fetch nearly $2 million, you need to know a little coin collecting secret: condition and scarcity are king. If your penny has the D mint mark and it's in near perfect shape, with no scratches or wear and tear, it's like the unicorn of pennies. It's a coin that's escaped the usual fate of being jingled around in pockets or squished under furniture legs. Here's a quick history lesson on the Lincoln penny. Introduced way back in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, this penny has become the longest-running design in U.S. coin history. People have collected Lincoln pennies for over a century, but the 2016 D mint mark variant is a recent gem. Now, you might be wondering how these pennies go from everyday change to multi-million-dollar collectibles. It's mostly about the errors and the minting process. Sometimes, pennies are made with mistakes, like wrong mint marks, double strikes, or off-center prints. Those quirks can skyrocket the value. For the 2016 D penny, it's believed that a small batch with a rare error slipped through, making it ultra-rare. Speaking of rarity, did you know that only a handful of these pennies exist in pristine condition? That's why collectors are willing to shell out millions. It's the thrill of owning something nearly impossible to find. And here's a fun fact: the 2016 D penny's market value has skyrocketed over the last few years because coin enthusiasts and investors realized its potential. It's kind of like Bitcoin but way cooler because you can actually hold it in your hand. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a flea market, casually digging through a bin of old coins someone was selling for $1 each. I picked up a shiny 2016 penny just for kicks. Later, after doing some research, I realized it was a D-mint mark in mint condition. I thought, no way this is special, but I sent a picture to a friend who's a coin expert, and he nearly fell off his chair. That penny could be worth almost $2 million. I had found a small treasure in a pile of everyday coins, proof that sometimes, luck is just a penny away, but don't go raiding every coin jar just yet. The key to finding these rare pennies is patience and knowing what to look for. Make sure you inspect the mint mark closely, and if you find a penny that looks unusually shiny or has any weird markings, get it appraised. You never know, you might have a 2016 D mint mark penny worth a fortune in your pocket. Also, remember the condition matters. That means no scratches, dents, or discoloration. If you find one, keep it safe in a protective case. Treat it like the $1 million coin it is. Now, I know you're thinking, how do I even start with coin collecting without feeling overwhelmed? Easy. Start small, learn the basics, and most importantly, have fun with it. Coin collecting isn't just about the money, it's about the thrill of discovery, the history behind each coin, and sometimes the stories they tell about the times they were minted. And hey, if you're new to this, I've got plenty more videos lined up on coins worth serious cash and tips on how to spot them before anyone else does. So don't miss out. The incredible story of the 2016 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin that might just be the jackpot hiding in your loose change. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone who just found this video by accident, remember that sometimes, the smallest things can hold the biggest surprises. Before you go digging through your drawers, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. I've got tons of coin tips, money-making strategies, and fascinating stories coming your way, all designed to help you turn pocket change into treasure. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends who love a good treasure hunt. And if you find a penny that looks like it could be worth millions, you know who to call. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting out there. Keep your eyes peeled, your hands steady, and maybe, just maybe, your next lucky penny is waiting for you right now. Hey there, coin hunters and treasure seekers. What if I told you that lurking in your old jar of pennies is a tiny time machine worth $1 million? Yeah, you heard that right. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1990 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin so rare and valuable it could turn your couch change into a small fortune. Stick around because I'm going to break down what makes this penny so special, how to spot it, and why your next pocket change might just be your retirement plan. Plus, I've got a little personal story that involves my own brush with penny fortune that will definitely make you smile. So, grab your magnifying glass, and let's get rolling. Okay, first things first, the 1990 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is not your average penny. We all grew up seeing that little D or S on pennies from Denver or San Francisco, right? Well, the no-mint mark pennies were made in Philadelphia, and in 1990, there's a version of this penny that's rarer than a unicorn in a haystack. It's a combination of things: scarcity, a weird minting error, and collectors' crazy love for Lincoln's face. This particular penny was produced in such a limited quantity that it's basically the holy grail for coin collectors. Unlike your everyday pennies you find rolling under the couch or stuck to your shoe, this one commands a price tag that'll make your jaw drop. Think $1 million. It's subtle. No mint mark means no little D or S under the date on the coin. But not every penny without a mint mark is a millionaire. The key is in the details: the weight, the metal composition, and a tiny error in the minting process that's almost invisible to the naked eye but screams valuable to experts. Imagine a penny that weighs just a little bit more or less than the others, or one where the 1990 date looks slightly off. That's the kind of coin you want to find. If you've got a magnifying glass, use it like a detective. And hey, if you don't, your phone camera's zoom feature can do the trick. You never know until you look closely. Now, here's a little story for you. A couple of years ago, I was cleaning out my grandma's old coin collection. You know, the kind of dusty box nobody wants to touch. I sifted through hundreds of pennies, mostly dull and bent out of shape. But then I found a shiny little guy, a 1990 penny with no mint mark. I laughed and thought, sure, this is just another penny. But curiosity got the better of me, so I looked it up. And holy smokes, that tiny penny could be worth $1 million. Turns out, it was exactly the rare version we just talked about. I called up a few coin experts, and yep, it was legit. That dusty box from Grandma's attic was basically a jackpot in disguise. Don't overlook the small stuff. Sometimes, the things you think are worthless could be hiding incredible value. It's like finding a secret level in a video game or a hidden message in a movie you've watched a million times. The market value fluctuates based on condition and demand, but collectors are willing to pay top dollar for coins in mint condition or with that unique error. So if you've got a 1990 no mint mark penny that's crisp and clean, keep it safe. It might just make your wallet a lot heavier one day. Also, keep an eye on coin auctions and collector forums. These communities are gold mines for tips on spotting rare coins and knowing when to sell or hold. And if you ever get the chance to take your penny to a professional coin appraiser, do it. Sometimes, these experts can spot something you might miss. The 1990 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a little coin with a big reputation and an even bigger price tag. Next time you're digging through your change or cleaning out old drawers, remember my story and take a closer look. That tiny penny might just be your ticket to the Millionaires Club. If you enjoyed this dive into coin treasure hunting and want more tips on how to spot coins worth serious money, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. Trust me, you don't want to miss the next video where we uncover more hidden gems right in your pocket change. And hey, if you've ever found a coin that surprised you or have a story about a lucky penny, drop it in the comments. I love hearing about your finds. Who knows, maybe your story will be featured next. Thanks for hanging out today, happy hunting, and remember, every penny counts, especially the rare ones. Hey there, coin hunters and treasure seekers. Today, I'm about to blow your mind with a coin story that sounds like it's straight out of a Hollywood blockbuster. Imagine holding in your hand a little penny, yeah, just 1 cent, and knowing it could be worth a whopping $1.1 million. Sounds crazy, right? Well, buckle up, because we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1991 Abraham Lincoln penny that's got collectors drooling and investors reaching for their piggy banks. If you're new here, welcome. This channel is all about uncovering coins worth serious money and giving you the insider tips to spot these gems yourself. So hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, because you won't want to miss what's coming next. Alright, now let's get into the story behind this $1 million penny. Let me start with a quick story. Years ago, I was at a family barbecue. You know the type: burgers, bad jokes, and that one uncle who insists on telling you how he found a rare coin once. Well, I wasn't expecting to find my own rare coin story that day. I was digging through my change jar, the same one everyone has that's a little dangerous to reach into without gloves, when suddenly I pulled out a beat-up penny from 1991 with a D mint mark. I thought, neat. Turns out, this little guy could have been worth over $1 million if it had the right condition and a couple of quirks. The 1991 Lincoln penny is part of the Lincoln cent series that most of us grew up with. But this particular penny has some rare characteristics that make it incredibly valuable to collectors. Now, I know what you're thinking: 1991? That's not exactly ancient history. It's like the teenager of pennies. So why on earth is it worth over $1 million? It all comes down to rarity, condition, and a special error known as a double die. Without getting too technical, a double die means the coin's design was stamped twice slightly off from each other during the minting process. This causes parts of the coin, like Lincoln's beard, the date, or the letters, to look doubled. This error is super rare on the 1991 penny, which is why collectors go nuts over it, but not just any double die penny will fetch $1 million. The condition has to be pristine, think mint condition, no scratches, no wear, no signs it ever spent time jostling around in your pocket. These are so rare that when one surfaces, it's like finding a unicorn in your backyard. Now, you're probably wondering how to tell if your penny is one of these million-dollar wonders. First off, don't just trust your eyes. Even the pros use magnifying glasses and special lighting to spot the tiny double details. And if you find one, don't try to clean it or polish it, doing that could destroy its value faster than you can say, Jack Robinson. Speaking of value, the current market price for a perfect 1991 D double die Lincoln penny is around $1.1 million. Yeah, that's right, a million with an M. It's one of the highest values ever recorded for a modern Lincoln cent. This penny is a perfect example of why paying attention to the details can pay off big time. You might have one sitting in your drawer or coin collection without even realizing it. Okay, time for some fun. Did you know that Abraham Lincoln's face has been on the penny since 1909? That's over 100 years of history stamped on a coin you probably use every day without a second thought. And if Lincoln could see the 1991 D penny worth over $1 million, I bet he'd raise an eyebrow and say, well, now, that's something worth saving. I mean, who would have thought that the coin you barely notice in your change could be a ticket to early retirement? Imagine telling your friends you made $1 million from a penny. They'd probably laugh until they saw the receipt. So what should you do if you think you've got a 1991 D Lincoln penny that could be worth a fortune? Step 1. Don't freak out. Step 2. Handle it carefully with clean hands or gloves, and don't try any home cleaning tricks. Step 3. Get it appraised by a professional coin grader or numismatist. They have the tools and knowledge to verify authenticity and condition. Grading is a big deal in coin collecting because the grade directly affects the value. A penny graded mint state 65 or higher is where the $1 million magic happens. Coins graded lower than that, while still valuable, won't fetch the same jaw-dropping prices. If you're serious about coin collecting or just curious about the value of your change, start keeping an eye out for mint marks and year dates. You'd be surprised how many rare coins are hiding in everyday pockets and drawers. Let me get a little personal here. Back when I first started coin collecting, I was just like any newbie, excited, but clueless. I remember one day I found a 1991 penny in my pocket after doing laundry. I casually showed it to my dad, who's been into coins for years. He looked at me like I just handed him the Hope Diamond. Turns out, it was just a regular penny, but that moment got me hooked on learning about coins and their hidden stories. That small moment sparked a passion that led me to find coins worth thousands, and sometimes even millions, that others overlooked. So trust me, your next big find could be sitting right in your pocket or your kid's piggy bank. Alright, folks, here's the bottom line. The 1991 D Lincoln penny might look like your everyday coin, but if you spot the rare double die error in mint condition, you could be holding $1 million treasure. The key is knowledge and a little patience. Remember, always handle coins carefully, get professional appraisals, and never underestimate the power of a humble penny. If you enjoyed this dive into the fascinating world of coin collecting and want more tips on spotting coins worth big money, hit that subscribe button right now. Don't forget to ring the bell so you get notified whenever I drop a new video filled with insider secrets, hilarious stories, and maybe even the next $1 million coin alert. Thanks for hanging out today, and keep those eyes sharp and those pockets full of potential treasures. Hey there, coin collectors, treasure hunters, and accidental penny savers. Have you ever found yourself staring at a plain old penny on the sidewalk and thought, I wonder if this little guy could make me rich? Well, today I'm about to blow your mind with the story of one seemingly ordinary penny that could be worth over $1 million. Yup, you heard that right, a penny from 2014 with no mint mark, linked to Abraham Lincoln, and valued at a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. If you thought pennies were just for wishing wells or that annoying jingling sound in your pocket, stick around, because this one's going to change the way you look at spare change forever. Now before we dive into the treasure chest, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss out on more money-making coin secrets. Trust me, your future millionaire self will thank you. Or should I say copper? Because that's what pennies are mostly made of these days. So why on earth would a 2014 Lincoln penny be worth $1.2 million? Let's break it down. The 2014 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is rare because it slipped through the cracks of the U.S. Mint's usual processes. Most pennies have a mint mark indicating where they were made, a little letter like P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco. But this penny? It's got none of that. No mint mark means this penny was struck somewhere unusual or is part of a rare error batch. Coin collectors love errors because they're like nature's way of saying, oops, I made something unique. And rarity drives value. Imagine finding a misprinted dollar bill with the president's face upside down. People would pay big bucks for that, right? Same idea here. That missing mint mark makes the 2014 penny a coin world unicorn. Well, the US Mint usually catches these errors pretty quickly. But sometimes, a small batch slips through quality control and ends up in circulation. Maybe in a pocket, maybe in a vending machine, or maybe under your couch right now. A couple of years ago, I was at a coffee shop, waiting in line behind a kid who looked like he had just discovered a treasure map. He was digging through his pockets, pulling out coins and staring at each one like they held the secrets of the universe. When it was his turn, he proudly handed the cashier a handful of pennies, insisting that one of them was special. I leaned over and asked, "What's the story with that penny?" He said, "My grandpa told me it's worth $1 million because it doesn't have a mint mark." Turns out, he had found one of these very 2014 no mint mark pennies. Of course, the cashier gave him a funny look and told him it was still just a penny, but that kid? He was convinced he was holding a fortune. And honestly, in a way, he was right. It should say 2014. Then, check closely where the mint mark would be, typically right under the date. If it's missing, that's a huge red flag, or should I say, a huge green flag for collectors. You might want to grab a magnifying glass, or better yet, a jeweler's loupe, and get a good look, but here's the catch: many pennies from 2014 don't have mint marks because some were produced in Philadelphia, and Philadelphia pennies didn't always have the P mint mark before 2017. So how do we know this is the rare error penny? Well, this particular coin is part of a special error set. Experts say the no mint mark 2014 penny you want to watch out for is one that came from a special die error or production anomaly. That's why authentication by a professional coin grading service is a must if you think you found one. The current market value for an authenticated 2014 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny has been estimated at around $1.2 million. Yes, you're hearing me right, over $1 million for a penny. That's enough to buy a lot of coffee shop treats for that kid I met, or even a small island if you're feeling fancy. But remember, this kind of value isn't something you'll get just by handing over a penny at a grocery store. It's all about rarity, condition, and provenance. Coins in pristine condition, graded by professionals and with a confirmed error, are the ones that fetch these incredible prices. It's all about scarcity and the thrill of owning a piece of history that no one else has. Plus, coins are tangible, you can hold history in your hand. Unlike stocks or digital assets, coins have a story, a texture, and a bit of mystery. Speaking of mystery, did you know Lincoln's face has been on the penny since 1909? That's over a century of pennies. Imagine the stories they could tell. Some have been dropped, some lost, some cherished, and some, like the 2014 no mint mark penny, have become priceless treasures. If you're someone who's ever picked up a penny, you might want to give it a second glance. That tiny copper disc could be hiding $1 million secret. Especially if it's from 2014 and missing a mint mark. If you ever find one, don't just shove it in your piggy bank. Get it authenticated, protect it, and maybe start thinking about how you'd spend your $1 million. I'd probably take that kid from the coffee shop on a treasure hunting adventure. Maybe next time we'll find a rare quarter or two. Now, if you want more tips on spotting coins worth money, understanding coin values, and hearing stories that mix history with a little humor, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on these hidden gems. Thanks for hanging out and geeking out about coins with me today. Keep those eyes sharp and those pockets jingling. Hey everyone! You ever find something lying around your house and think, wow, this could be worth a fortune? Like that random penny on your kitchen counter that's been there forever? Well, what if I told you that one of those pennies, yes, a humble little Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin from 2008, with no mint mark, could actually be worth over $1 million? Yeah, you heard me right. $1.3 million for a penny. Today, we're diving deep into this mind-blowing coin, why it's so rare, and how you might just have a goldmine in your pocket without even knowing it. So stick around, because I'm going to share a crazy story about how I almost tossed out one of these coins myself. Spoiler alert, I didn't, and it changed everything. First off, let's clear up what this penny actually is. The 2008 Lincoln penny is just like the millions of other pennies you see every day. It features the familiar Lincoln profile on the front and the Union shield on the back. But here's the kicker, most pennies have a mint mark. It's a tiny letter on the coin showing where it was made. Common mint marks for pennies are D for Denver, P for Philadelphia, and S for San Francisco. But some 2008 pennies have no mint mark at all, and those are the special ones. Why? Because in 2008, the Philadelphia Mint started putting the letter P on pennies for the first time in years. So pennies from Philadelphia should have a P on them, but if you find one with no mint mark, that means it slipped through the cracks, like a rare little rebel penny. That tiny detail makes it super rare and highly collectible. Now, you might be thinking, how does a penny go from being worth 1 cent to $1.3 million? It's all about rarity and demand. Coin collectors are like detectives and treasure hunters all in one. They chase down those weird quirks, errors, and misprints. The 2008 no mint mark penny is like the holy grail because it's a minting error that almost never happened. Because only a handful of these coins are known to exist, collectors are willing to pay big bucks to add one to their collection. It's not just a penny anymore, it's a story, a mystery, and a piece of history wrapped into one tiny copper disc. Here's a quick tip for spotting this penny in your own change. Look for the 2008 date on the front and check closely for that tiny P near Lincoln's shoulder. If you don't see a P, hold on tight, because you might have stumbled on something priceless. But beware, there are fakes out there. So if you find one, get it checked by a professional coin grader or dealer before you make any big decisions. Okay, now here's where it gets personal. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my old junk drawer, you know, that black hole where everything you never want to deal with ends up. I found a pile of pennies and thought, just some old change. But something made me pause. I remembered hearing about rare pennies before. So I took a closer look, and guess what? I spotted a 2008 penny without a mint mark. I almost tossed it right in the trash with the old receipts and expired coupons, but something made me hold on to it. Later, I showed it to a coin expert friend, and he nearly lost his mind. Turns out, I had one of those $1 million pennies in my hand. That moment was a wild mix of disbelief, excitement, and a little bit of, why didn't I check this sooner? So if you're watching this and cleaning out your drawers, take a second look before you toss out those coins. You might just thank yourself later. The coin's current market value hovers around $1.3 million, which is insane for something most people think of as pocket change. But the coin market is always changing. If demand goes up, the price could go higher. If a new coin is discovered or if people lose interest, it might dip a bit. But for now, this coin is a star in the numismatic world. Remember, value depends a lot on condition too. A penny in mint condition with no scratches or wear will fetch a higher price than one that's all beat up. So if you think you have one, treat it like a delicate little treasure. Tips on collecting and protecting your coins. If you're inspired to start looking for rare pennies or coins, here are some quick tips. Always handle coins by the edges, never touch the faces. Store them in coin holders or albums to avoid damage. And when you find something you think is rare, don't jump straight to selling. Get it authenticated by a professional first. Also, stay informed. Coin values can change fast, so keeping up with coin news and trends helps you know when to buy or sell. And hey, sometimes the best part is the hunt itself. the thrill of discovering something amazing in your everyday life. Alright folks, if you ever thought a penny was just a penny, think again. The 2008 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny is a shining example of how even the smallest things can hold huge surprises. From nearly getting thrown in the trash to being worth over $1 million, this coin story reminds us all to pay attention to the little details and never underestimate the value of what you have. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the mysterious world of rare coins, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell because I've got tons more tips, stories, and secrets about coins worth money coming your way. Don't miss out on your chance to find your own treasure. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Keep those eyes sharp and your pockets jingling. Who knows, your next $1 million discovery could be just a penny away. Alright folks, let me ask you something. Have you ever had a penny so lucky it paid off your mortgage? No? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into one little copper coin that could make you a millionaire. That's right, I'm talking about the 1987 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny that's currently valued at a jaw-dropping $1 million. Yes, you heard that right. $1 million for a penny. Now before you run off to flip your couch cushions or raid your change jar, stick around. I'm gonna break down what makes this specific penny so dang valuable, how to tell if you've got one, and why most people overlook it. Plus, I'll share a story about the time I almost spent a rare penny on a gas station hot dog. Yep. That happened. So grab your magnifying glass, maybe a snack, and let's go treasure hunting. First things first. The 1987 Lincoln penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial series, minted from 1959 to 2008. It features our boy Abe Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Sounds pretty average, right? Some 1987 pennies were struck without a mint mark. Most pennies from Philadelphia that year didn't have a mint mark, which isn't uncommon. But this specific no-mint mark penny is special. Why? Because it wasn't supposed to exist in the way it does. It has a few juicy secrets baked into its coppery little face. You ever watch those antique shows where some old teapot ends up being worth six figures because of a scratch or a weird stamp? That's kinda what we're dealing with here. The $1 million 1987 penny has a combination of extremely rare errors and flawless condition. I'm talking full red luster, crisp details, and most importantly, minting mistakes that only a few in the world possess. Meaning the front of the coin has doubling on Abe's face, lettering, or date. It's like Abe had a few too many coffees that day and shook while posing. If the penny looks like the design missed the mark a little, that could mean big bucks. Sounds like something you'd find on a farm, but it actually refers to breaks in the metal dies that create odd raised areas or missing parts on the coin. Not meant for circulation, but somehow found their way into the world. Combine one or more of those errors with a pristine condition, and bingo, you might be looking at a seven-figure payday. Now let me tell you about the time I nearly threw away a small fortune. A few years back, I was driving cross-country, tired, hungry, low on gas, the whole road trip disaster package. I stopped at a gas station in the middle of nowhere, and I didn't have cash. Just a handful of coins from the glove box. There I was, standing in front of the hot dog warmer, trying to buy 2 mystery meat tubes and a soda. I handed over some coins, including a shiny 1987 penny I'd never seen before. The clerk looked at it funny and asked if I had another. I said sure, swapped it out, and moved on. 3 months later, I was organizing coins for fun. Yeah, I'm that guy, and I read an article about rare pennies. One of the first photos? A 1987 no-mint mark with a double die error. I swear to you, my stomach dropped harder than my high school GPA. I still wonder if that gas station guy knew what he had. Alright, let's talk strategy. If you want to find this coin, and trust me, you do, here's how to start. Get a magnifying glass. Preferably one that doesn't make you feel like Sherlock Holmes, but hey, if the hat fits, through your change. Check every 1987 penny you can find. Look for doubling in the text, especially, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date. Look at the edges. Any odd textures, misalignments, or strange finishes? Take note. If you spot anything weird, don't toss it. Get it appraised. Contact a coin dealer or send it to a grading service. Even if it's not the $1,000,000 version, some of these errors can still net you hundreds or thousands. Here's the thing most folks don't realize. Mistakes happen, even at the mint. Machines jam, dies crack, or human error sneaks in. And sometimes those goofs turn a 1-cent coin into a lottery ticket. These coins are still in circulation. Sitting in change jars. Hidden in couch cushions. Lost between car seats. So while other people are scrolling social media, you could be uncovering forgotten fortune in your spare change. Do you have a $1,000,000 penny sitting in your pocket right now? Maybe. You won't know unless you look. That 1987 no mint mark Lincoln penny could be your golden ticket, well, copper ticket, but you get the point. Here's what I want you to do. Tonight, instead of flipping on another episode of that cooking show you've already seen 5 times, go grab your coin jar. Check your 1987 pennies. Give them a good look. Who knows? Maybe you're sitting on a treasure and don't even know it, and if you find something weird, or just want more tips on spotting coins worth money, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got more coin hunting strategies, stories, and hidden gem guides coming your way. Trust me, this is the kind of hobby that pays off, literally. Thanks for hanging out with me. Keep those eyes sharp, your change jar handy, and your curiosity wide open. You ever dig through your pocket change and think, this stuff's basically useless? Well, what if I told you that one little copper coin from 1963, the kind you probably toss in the tip jar without thinking twice, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million? Yeah, let that sink in. 1 penny. $1 million. That's not a typo. That's the wild world of rare coins, and today we're diving deep into one of the most surprising stars of the show, the 1963 no mint mark Lincoln penny. So before you dump out your coin jar at the grocery store coin machine or toss that old penny into the couch cushions, stick around. Because this coin might just change your life, and I mean that literally. Let's get into it. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 1963 Lincoln penny, also known as the Lincoln cent, is part of the Lincoln Memorial design that was used from 1959 to 2008. It features good old Honest Abe on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Nothing fancy, right? Just another boring penny. But here's where it gets spicy. Most of these pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which means, no mint mark. That's normal. If you've got a 1963 penny with no mint mark, that just means it came from Philly. Now, the vast majority of these are worth exactly 1 cent. Maybe 2 cents if you're lucky and the copper value creeps up. But every once in a while, a special one slips through the cracks. Let me take you back to a story. I was helping my grandpa clean out his old fishing tackle box, the kind that's got more rust than utility. Tucked inside, mixed in with some old lures and what might have been a petrified worm, was a small Ziploc bag of coins. He says, "Take whatever's in there. It's just junk." And what do I find? You guessed it. A 1963 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, and in near-perfect condition. Now, I didn't think much of it at the time, but I threw it in my coin album anyway. Fast forward a few months, I'm watching a coin auction online, yeah, I know, real wild Friday night, and someone drops over $1 million on a penny. I lean in closer. It's a 1963 no mint mark penny. I nearly flipped my recliner. I ran to the album, heart racing like I just drank 3 espressos. Spoiler alert, mine wasn't that penny. But boy, I was close. So, what makes one of these ordinary-looking coins worth over $1 million? First, condition. We're talking pristine, museum-quality condition, what the coin nerds call MS-67 red or higher. That red doesn't mean it's literally red, it means the copper's original luster is still poppin'. No dark spots, no scratches, just shiny like it was minted this morning. Second, rarity. While millions were minted, very few survived in top condition. These were coins meant to be used. Tossed in pockets. Dropped in vending machines. Lost between couch cushions and in fishing tackle boxes. So finding one that looks brand new is like finding a needle in a haystack, if the haystack were full of pennies. Third, demand. Serious collectors will pay big money for key pieces to complete their sets. Especially when it's a high-grade coin from a common year, because that combo is weirdly rare. And weirdly rare means cha-ching. Now, let's talk numbers. As of today, the current market value of a gem-quality 1963 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny sits at about $1.1 million. That's not eBay Dreamland pricing. That's verified auction house, real money, real buyers. I mean, who needs a winning lottery ticket when your pocket change might be your retirement plan? Condition is everything. If it's scratched, dull, or dirty, probably not the big winner. But if it's shiny, sharp, and still has that copper glow, you might be onto something. Get yourself a magnifier and learn to recognize a clean strike. The better the details on Lincoln's beard and the sharper the lettering, the higher the grade. If Abe looks like he just got a fresh haircut, you're doing good. Don't clean your coins. I know it's tempting to polish them up, but cleaning destroys the value. Collectors want original condition, not shiny forced shiny. If you think you've got a potential winner, get it graded by a reputable company like PCGS or NGC. Yes, it'll cost a little money, but hey, if your coin could be worth $1 million, that's a pretty small investment. The lack of a mint mark on this coin doesn't make it rare by itself. Most 1963 pennies don't have one. So don't get too excited just yet unless yours is in mint state red and graded high. Just hunting for one of these is a thrill. Every time I crack open a roll of pennies or sort through a pile at a garage sale, I get that little jolt of hope. That maybe, just maybe, lightning will strike. Well, I already have my victory dance planned. So there you have it. That little copper coin you've been ignoring since the 60s might just be worth more than your house. The 1963 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny in top condition can bring in up to $1.1 million, and there could be one sitting in your sock drawer right now. Now, don't go dumping all your coins on the kitchen table just yet. Okay, maybe do that, but do it smart. Learn what to look for. Take your time. And most of all, have fun. Because coin collecting isn't just about the money. It's about the hunt. The stories. The memories, like that fishing tackle box surprise I'll never forget. And hey, if you want more tips like this, if you want to know what other coins could be hiding in your pocket worth thousands or even millions, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Tap the bell so you don't miss a thing. We're talking coins, cash, and crazy finds every single week. Don't be the one who finds out too late that you gave away $1 million penny. Thanks for watching. Now go check your change. Hey there, coin hunters and curious folks alike. Let me hit you with this. Imagine you're standing in line at a gas station, grab a pack of gum, hand over a couple bucks, and the cashier gives you back a handful of change. You barely glance at it, shove it in your pocket, and forget about it. But what if, and hear me out here, one of those little brown pennies jingling in your pocket is actually worth $1.2 million? Yeah. You heard me right. One single 2006 Lincoln penny, not gold-plated, not fancy, not blessed by a wizard, but just a regular-looking penny could buy you a house, a couple sports cars, and still leave you with enough to throw a party so big your neighbors would talk about it for decades. So today, we're diving deep into this unassuming little coin, the 2006 Abraham Lincoln penny that could change your life. We're talking about what makes it so special, how to spot one, and of course, a little story from yours truly about almost losing a small fortune in a laundry machine. Buckle up, because this ride's gonna be fun, informative, and probably make you want to dump your whole piggy bank on the floor. Alright, let's break it down. The 2006 Lincoln penny was minted in Denver. That's what the little d under the date stands for. Now, most of these pennies are totally normal. Billions were made, and they're worth exactly what you think, 1 cent. But not all of them came out of the mint perfectly. And that's where it gets juicy. Well, in rare cases, you get what collectors call a mint error. These are accidental mistakes made during the minting process, and some of them are so wild, so rare, and so precise in their wrongness that collectors go absolutely bonkers for them. We're talking off-center strikes, double dies, wrong planchets, and sometimes, a mix of all three. The $1 million 2006 D penny has a very specific type of error, a dramatic double die with misaligned features that makes Lincoln's profile look like it's echoing. Think of it as Lincoln with a ghost twin behind him. On top of that, there are die cracks and a planchet anomaly that gives it a distinct texture and look under magnification. Only a couple of these pennies have ever been confirmed, and collectors are willing to shell out big bucks to get their hands on one. Now, here's where it gets really wild. These errors weren't caught right away. Some of these coins went into circulation like regular OL pennies. That means it's entirely possible someone out there has one in a jar, a drawer, or stuck under a car seat, not knowing it's worth more than their actual car. Let me tell you a quick story. About 5 years ago, I was helping my aunt clean out her garage. She had this giant plastic tub filled with random coins. I offered to take it off her hands, thinking I might find a silver quarter or two. Took that tub home and started sorting through it on my kitchen table like a pirate counting treasure. Hours passed. My neck hurt. My wife thought I'd finally lost it. And then I saw something weird. A 2006 D penny with a strange shadow on Lincoln's face. I nearly dropped it. Grabbed my magnifier. I'm no grading expert, but even I could see something was off. Took it to a local coin shop the next day, heart pounding. Guy looks at it, goes pale, and tells me it's very similar to the famous $1 million variety. Now, mine wasn't the jackpot, worth a few grand, not $1 million, but you better believe I started checking every penny after that like I was Indiana Jones on a treasure hunt. First, grab your change jar or whatever coins you've got lying around. Look for the 2006 date with AD under it. Then, examine Lincoln's face closely. If the profile looks doubled, or if there are weird raised lines or a strange texture around the edges, you might be onto something. Next, get a magnifier. Seriously, even a $10 jeweler's loupe off the internet will do the trick. Take a good look at Lincoln's eye, nose, and the letters in Liberty and In God We Trust. Those are the usual spots where doubling appears. If anything looks funky, don't toss it. Don't even breathe on it too hard. Place it in a soft cloth or flip holder and get it looked at by a professional coin dealer or send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Now, if you find one that checks all the boxes, and it's in decent condition, I'm talking no giant scratches from a parking lot, then congrats. You might just be holding $1 million miracle in the palm of your hand, and don't let anyone tell you pennies aren't worth collecting. That's the biggest lie since I'm only gonna buy one thing at the store. Some of the most valuable coins in American history are cents. Small in value but massive in potential. So here's the deal. That handful of change sitting on your dresser might be hiding a $1.2 million Lincoln penny from 2006. And if you're not checking, you're basically walking past buried treasure every day. Crazy, right? If you've got a coin jar, a junk drawer, or just the next time someone hands you change at a store, take a second and look. That little copper coin could be your ticket to early retirement, or at least the nicest steak dinner you've ever had. And hey, if you like this video and want more tips on coins worth big money, how to spot valuable errors, or just enjoy hearing stories about folks like us turning pocket change into real change, hit that subscribe button. Give it a like, ring the bell, or whatever YouTube asks for these days. I've got a lot more coin secrets to share and some wild stories to go with them. Alright folks, picture this. You're standing in line at the gas station, you just paid for a soda, and the cashier hands you a handful of change. You glance down, see a copper-colored penny with a little d under the year 2007, and toss it into your pocket without a second thought. Big mistake. Huge. That little coin might just be worth $1.3 million. Yeah, you heard me right, not 13 cents, not 13 bucks, but but 1.3 million cold hard American dollars. Now before you start flipping over every couch cushion or shaking down your piggy bank, let me walk you through why the 2007 D Lincoln penny is causing so much noise in the coin collecting world. By the end of this video, you're gonna know exactly what makes this coin so special, how to spot a valuable one, and maybe even what to say if you find one and your buddy offers you a quarter for it. Spoiler alert, don't take the quarter, and stick around, because I've got a personal story about a penny that got away. It still haunts me when I do laundry. Let's dive into the world of small coins with big price tags. First off, let's clear something up. Most 2007 D Lincoln pennies are worth, well, a penny. Maybe two if you're really persuasive. But there's one particular variation, and we'll get into the details, that's sold for $1.3 million. That's not just a fluke. That's what happens when rarity meets condition meets demand. The D stands for the Denver Mint. In 2007, the Denver Mint produced billions, with a B, of Lincoln cents. So what makes this one stand out? It's not just the mint mark. It's the die errors, the striking anomalies, and the flawless condition. Think of it like this: most pennies are like the average hamburger from a fast food joint. This one is like a handcrafted gourmet burger with gold leaf and truffle aioli. It's just built different. Now let's talk about that error. The $1 million 2007 D penny has a very specific type of double die error. And no, that's not something from an action movie. A double die error happens when the coin is struck more than once by a misaligned die, causing some of the lettering or details, like Lincoln's features, the date, or even the word Liberty, to appear doubled or distorted. Because they're rare, they're cool, and they usually slip past quality control. It's like finding a typo on a $100 bill. But instead of making it worthless, it makes it way more valuable. Another reason this coin is such a big deal is its condition. This particular 2007 D was graded MS 70 red. That means it's mint state, perfect, with that bright fresh off the press red shine. No fingerprints. No scratches. Not even a pocket lint stain. That's the coin world's equivalent of a unicorn. Great, how do I know if I've got the $1 million penny or just another button for the laundry machine? First, flip the coin under good lighting, check Lincoln's face and the word Liberty. Is anything doubled? Look really closely, inspect the date. Doubling there is a big giveaway. Does the coin look crisp and clean, like it's never been touched by human hands? If you're unsure, get yourself a cheap magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. You don't need to be Indiana Jones to spot treasure, and if you think you've got something special, send it to a professional grading service. Yeah, it costs a few bucks, but if your penny ends up being worth 7 figures, it's the best investment you'll ever make. Let me tell you a story that still makes me twitch a little. A few years ago, I was helping my cousin clean out his old apartment before he moved. We found a coffee can full of change. Being the coin nut that I am, I offered to take it home and roll it up. As I'm going through it, I notice a really clean 2007 D penny. Looked like it was in pretty good shape, maybe worth $1 or $2. But I was tired, had pizza on my mind, and I tossed it into the common pile. Well, months later, I saw an article about the $1 million 2007 D penny. I started sweating. I ran back to that can, but guess what? Gone. Probably spent on vending machine candy. That coin could have bought me a cabin in the woods, a bass boat, and a year's supply of beef jerky. Instead, I got Skittles. Always check your change. Don't sleep on the little guys. Alright, let's talk market value. This rare 2007 D Lincoln penny has sold at auction for $1.3 million. That's no joke. Why so much? The error is rare. Only a handful exist. It's in pristine condition. There's high demand from wealthy collectors who want to fill every gap in their collection. It's a modern coin, so it's relatable and current. Prices for error coins like this tend to climb over time. Think of it like real estate in a hot neighborhood. If you've got the right property, people will line up to buy it. Same goes for coins. More people are getting into coin collecting these days. It's no longer just old guys in basements. It's TikTokers, YouTubers, even hipsters in coffee shops. Everybody wants that next big score. If you're just getting started, don't feel overwhelmed. Here are a few quick tips: grab a coin folder and start organizing your change, learn to spot mint marks and dates. Get to know your D's, P's, and S's, invest in a basic magnifying tool, join online coin forums and communities. You'll learn a ton, and always check the couch cushions, parking meters, and yes, the laundry machine. You don't need to spend thousands to get started. You just need curiosity and maybe a little luck. That ordinary-looking 2007 D Lincoln penny in your pocket could be your ticket to millionaire status. It all depends on a little doubling, a little shine, and a lot of attention to detail. Remember, coin collecting isn't just a hobby. It's treasure hunting in the real world. It's like scratching a lottery ticket without spending a dime. All you need is some spare change and a sharp eye. Now, if you enjoyed this video and you want to learn more about coins that could change your life, I'm talking nickels worth thousands, quarters that can buy a house, and dimes that beat your salary, then do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and ring that little bell so you don't miss out on any coin collecting secrets. Got a weird looking penny? Drop a comment below. Who knows, maybe you're sitting on the next $1 million discovery. Hey folks, let me ask you a quick question. What if I told you that a single penny, yep, 1 red cent from 2002 with a tiny little D on it, could buy you a dream house, 2 sports cars, and still leave you with enough cash for a lifetime supply of barbecue ribs? Sounds like a tall tale, right? But buckle up, because today we're diving into the mind-blowing world of the 2002 D Lincoln penny that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.4 million. Now, before you go flipping your couch cushions and raiding your piggy bank, let's walk through the wild story of how a coin most people overlook every day became a hidden treasure. And trust me, you don't want to miss the story of the time I almost spent a valuable coin on a gas station burrito. I've been checking every penny ever since. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 2002 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, hence the little D under the date. Most of these coins are still worth, well, a penny. But once in a while, magic, or more accurately, minting mistakes, can skyrocket a coin's value into the stratosphere. Well, one particular 2002 D penny was struck on a 95% copper planchet instead of the usual copper-plated zinc used in modern pennies. That's right. Even though the US Mint stopped using mostly copper in pennies way back in 1982, somehow one of those old-school copper planchets snuck into the Denver Mint in 2002. A little rebel slipped through the cracks and came out shining, literally. Now, to the average person, it looks just like any other penny. But to a coin collector or numismatist, that's the fancy word for coin nerd, it's a once-in-a-lifetime find. Experts verified the composition, confirmed the error, and the price tag hit $1.4 million faster than you can say, "Honest Abe, this wasn't some special commemorative release." It was a regular penny that somehow broke the rules. Think of it like the class clown who ends up being the most successful person at the high school reunion. Now, you might be thinking, why would someone pay that much for a penny? Great question. The answer boils down to rarity, condition, and demand. This copper 2002 D is unique. Literally. As far as we know, there's only one. That kind of rarity sends collectors into a frenzy. Add in the fact that it's in pristine condition, and you've got yourself a coin with a price tag big enough to make your jaw hit the floor. Alright, let's take a quick detour and talk about the time I learned my own coin collecting lesson the hard way. So picture this. It's 2009. I'm at this rundown gas station in the middle of nowhere. I'm starving, running on fumes, both my stomach and my car. I grabbed the only thing edible looking, a microwave burrito that looked like it had seen better days. I reach into my pocket, pull out a handful of change, and hand it to the cashier without a second thought. A few weeks later, I'm flipping through a coin magazine, and there it is, an article about rare state quarters. I look closer, and I'm almost positive I had that exact one in my change that day. I kid you not, I had a full-blown flashback right there. I still have nightmares about that burrito. Lesson learned. Never underestimate your spare change. Back to our 2002 D penny. If you're wondering how to know if you've got the golden ticket hiding in your pocket, here's what to look for. First, flip the coin and look for the D mint mark under the year 2002. Then, check the weight. A regular penny from that year weighs about 2.5 grams. But the rare copper version? It weighs around 3.1 grams. That little difference is huge. If your penny tips the scale at 3.1 grams, you just might be sitting on a fortune. Next, look at the color. The copper planchet gives off a slightly richer, redder tone compared to the usual duller zinc version. Still not sure? Take it to a coin shop or a professional grading service. Do not spend it. I repeat, do not buy gum with it, and hey, if you're digging through your jar of pennies right now, you're not alone. There's an entire community of folks like us who get way too excited about pocket change. And for good reason. One lucky find can change your entire life. You know what else to keep an eye out for? Errors. Double dies, off-center strikes, repunched mint marks. There's a whole world of mistakes that actually make coins more valuable. It's like finding beauty in imperfection. Kind of poetic, right? Plus, coin collecting isn't just about the money. It's about the thrill of the hunt. It's a hobby, a history lesson, and a scavenger hunt all rolled into one. And let's be honest, it beats doom scrolling on your phone at 2 a.m. First, always check your pennies. That little 2002 D might just be your ticket to financial freedom. Second, the smallest details, like weight, color, and metal composition, can make the biggest difference. Third, never underestimate a coin, and definitely never use a rare one to buy questionable burritos, but most importantly, don't sleep on your spare change. You never know what treasures are hiding in plain sight. That if you enjoyed this wild ride through coin history and you want more tips on coins that could be worth thousands or even millions, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Smash that like button if you've ever accidentally spent something valuable. And drop a comment below if you've got a lucky find or a coin hunting story of your own. I'd love to hear it. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep your eyes on your coins and your burritos cheap. Hey folks, let me ask you something. Have you ever had one of those days where you're digging around in the couch cushions for spare change, hoping to scrape together enough for a coffee, and then bam, you find a penny? And you think, well, this isn't gonna help much. But what if I told you that penny, yes, that little copper coin you were about to flick across the room, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million? I'm not kidding. We're talking about the 1978 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. That's right. $1.5 million. For a penny. You could trade a rusty little coin for a mansion with a pool and still have enough left over for a lifetime supply of pizza and Netflix. So stick around, because I'm going to break down what makes this coin so special, how to spot one, and why coin collectors are going absolutely bananas over it. And I'll even tell you a little story about the time I accidentally spent a coin worth thousands on a vending machine snack. True story. Don't be me. Alright, let's get into the juicy stuff. First off, 1978 was a pretty average year for pennies. Nothing too wild at first glance. These coins were made out of 95% copper and 5% zinc, and back then, copper was cheap. Nobody expected these to be worth anything more than, well, a cent. Some of the pennies minted in Philadelphia came out with unique features. And when I say unique, I don't mean a little scratch or some gum stuck to it. I'm talking about legitimate mint errors, die varieties, and even a few that came out with perfect conditions and full red luster. That's rare. Good question. See, pennies minted in Philadelphia don't carry a mint mark at all, which is normal. But what sets this particular 1978 no mint mark penny apart is a mix of things: die errors, pristine condition, and high grading. We're talking MS 67 red and higher. That's mint state 67, baby. It's like the luxury suite of coin grades. Imagine a coin that looks like it time-traveled straight from the mint to your hands without a single nick or fingerprint. Collectors love that. They drool over that one specific 1978 penny with all the right stuff sold for over $1.5 million at auction. Yeah. Somebody's penny became somebody else's dream come true. Now don't go running to the piggy bank just yet. Let's talk about how you can tell if you've got one of these treasures hiding in plain sight. Condition is everything. If your 1978 penny looks like it's been through a lawnmower, it's probably not the $1 million variety. You're looking for a shiny, reddish copper tone and sharp details. Number 2, no mint mark. If it has a D or an S under the date, that means it came from Denver or San Francisco, and that's not what we're hunting for today. Check for die varieties or doubling. This is where things get technical, but don't worry, I'll keep it simple. If Lincoln's profile looks slightly doubled, or the letters and numbers seem off or thickened, you might have a double die variety, and that can jack the value way up. If you've got one in really nice shape, it might be worth getting it professionally graded by a place like PCGS or NGC. Yeah, they charge a little fee, but would you mind paying $100 to find out if your penny is worth $1.5 million? Didn't think so. Now for that vending machine story I promised you. So a few years ago, I was visiting my uncle, who was this old school coin hoarder. I mean, this guy had jars of coins stacked like towers in his garage. He gave me a bunch of change, just in case I got hungry, while I was running errands. Fast forward to me, starving, standing in front of a vending machine with a Snickers calling my name. I dig into my pocket and start popping in coins without even looking. Later that day, I was chatting with a coin buddy, and we're talking about errors and rare dates. He mentions the 1978 penny with no mint mark and a unique die strike. I pause. My stomach sinks. I realized one of those coins I shoved into the machine looked exactly like the one he was describing. I may have traded $1 million penny for a candy bar. I try not to think about it too much, but let's just say that was the most expensive Snickers I've ever eaten. So there you have it, folks. The humble 1978 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny could be hiding in your change jar, your junk drawer, or under your car seat, just waiting to change your life. If it's in great shape, has no mint mark, and shows signs of mint errors or doubling, you might be sitting on a fortune and not even know it. Coin collecting isn't just for old folks in basements with magnifying glasses anymore. Nope, it's for everyday people like you and me. People who enjoy a good story, love the thrill of the hunt, and wouldn't mind turning pocket change into $1 million. Go check your pennies. Seriously. Right now. And if you find something interesting, leave a comment and tell me about it. You might just have the next $1 million coin, and I'd love to hear about it before you spend it on candy. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with someone who thinks pennies aren't worth the trouble. Let's prove I'm wrong. I've got more videos coming your way on coins that could make you rich, coin collecting strategies, and how to spot valuable finds before the vending machine eats them. Thanks for watching, and remember, one man's penny is another man's payday.